What is up, YouTube? I am an amateur disc golf player. I've been playing for about 2 years now. Seriously, for about a year. I play in like AM2, AM3 division, mostly AM3. Let's start off with my putting putters. So I like to putt with these guys. These are Jawbreaker Roaches. If you guys have not tried the Jawbreaker plastic, it is very, very grippy once you throw it for a round or two. Highly recommend it. The rubber really does a great benefit for it. And the Roach itself is just a really, really straight putter. I have a pretty slow push putt, but I can hit anything within the circle with these guys. I'm very confident with my putters. My first Jawbreaker Roach that I bought was actually this one. It was my putting putter, but as soon as I found a matching pair, I decided to stick with those guys and just use this guy kind of as like a backup practice putter type thing. You know, use it before a tournament, but not actually during a round that much. This is my lose it Roach, I like to call it. If I have a chance of losing a Roach, this is the one I will throw. It is not worth that much to me. It was my first Roach. Good turnover putter, though, as well. It does have its uses. My main throwing putter, though, is definitely the Focus. This Focus is from the Memorial Championship. If anybody has one, they are money. Please sell me one. They are nice and stable. You just rip on it. They go straight with a little bit of fade at the end. This thing is my backup to that one. It is also a limited edition Focus. I would take another run of these, too. If anyone's got one, sell me one, please. Love them. Gotta have them. If anyone hasn't tried one of these out, don't try it out. Just sell me one when you get one. They are that good. If I have any chance of losing those, which I hope I never do, this guy right here is a soft Focus. As you can see, the stamp is nice and worn away. It's slightly flippy, but still holds straight. It will definitely do whatever the other Focuses will do if I want it to, but it doesn't get thrown that much because it is a little bit flippy. My super stable throwing putters, which are a little bit ridiculous, honestly. One of them is this Jawbreaker Roach. Really love the Jawbreaker plastic. If anyone hasn't tried it, honestly, please get it. I've probably said that too many times already the last 2 minutes, but it is amazing. The zone itself is really, really stable. If you throw it nice and flat, it will go flat for a little bit, but it's going left. It will go left. This one's really beat in, but it still likes to go left a mile. This one I've had for over a year now. It's older. It's my oldest zone. It is even more stable than the Jawbreaker zone, though. This thing will fight any headwind. It will skip. It will go crazy left. Great utility putter. Doesn't get thrown that much because it's a utility disc, but when you need it, you need it. So gotta have one. Moving on to my stack of mid-ranges here. This guy's might work its way into my bag. I've been working on it. It's a little bit, it holds a line really well, but my form isn't that consistent, so sometimes it'll hyzer out, sometimes it'll anhyzer, so I'm still trying to learn it. It's really good form check disc, though. Gotta love it. Elite Z Hawk. The ones that I have been throwing a while, which I think the Hawk might replace eventually, are these Comets. They hyzer flip like crazy. One's a Z and one's a ESP limited edition, and they're also just really good for right-hand, backhand, just left-to-right discs. Any big left-to-right shots that aren't super far, I will be using this disc right here. Although my favorite mid-range of all time, of course, I throw Discraft. What are you going to have if you throw Discraft and you have a mid-range? Of course, gotta have the Big Z Buzz. This one was my first Buzz that I got. Thank you, Franz, for giving me this disc. You have hooked me on Discraft, hooked me on the Buzz. This thing is nice and straight with a little bit of S-turn to it. This guy is a little bit more stable than that one. It is if the lighting will be good, that is a 10-year Buzz. And this thing is just nice and stable. You throw it straight, and it goes real straight with just a tiny bit of fade at the end. When I do want a little bit more fade on my Buzzes, these Metal Flakes, they will do me justice. Tunnel shots with a little bit of left at the end, or a headwind that you want to just get a nice straight disc going. These Metal Flake Buzzes, they will do the trick for you. I've already had some before, and I accidentally left one on the course, so I had to buy a couple more because they are so great. These Buzzes, they're both Buzz OSs. One's a first run, one's just a limited stamp. They are very stable. Not very stable, but they're very stable for a mid-range. They do very good in the headwind, but they go way left. So if I need that disc, this is great. But a lot of times I'll just throw the Metal Flake Buzz. Moving on to distance fairway-ish drivers. My favorite one ever is probably the Heat. This first run heat's kind of beat in. It's got a little left to right to it, but really just hyzer flip straight for a mile. It's really, really good for that. These guys are my new ones, my TI limited edition heats. I've had these for about a week now, throw them for a few rounds, and they are money. Just max power, straight discs, a little bit turn to them, but they do come back just really, really straight, honestly. Another disc that's of that caliber speed-wise, but doesn't fly the same at all, is going to be a Predator. The Predator just real straight with a good left to it. This one's a nice beat-in Elite Z Predator, so it's kind of like a more stable T-Bird. Gotta have a backup for that guy, so here's my other one. Nice old Predators, so hopefully I don't ever lose them. This is my new Predator. I lost one of my old Predators before and bought this guy before I got those two. And this guy doesn't do me justice. It goes way left. It will fight any headwind. It doesn't fly like a disc should fly, but sometimes you need that shot, so have it in the bag. Paid for it, and I'll take it. My probably go-to max distance drivers just for all-around craziness is the cranks. Gotta have these first-run cranks. If you guys haven't tried throwing the crank, they are awesome. They just go straight with a good left to them. They'll have some right, but they'll still come back healthy to the left at the end. This one you can see is a good little notch nick in it, but it still flies true. So yeah, I got two of the first runs. Gotta always have the backup. I have a whole stack of first-run cranks to the side of me. Always gotta have the backups for those. My prototype cranks are a little bit more stable than the first run cranks. They're kind of redundant. I don't throw them that much because they're overlapping with the first runs and they overlap with the next disc I'm about to show you. So there's just not much use for them. I'm sure I'll find a shot for them sometimes though. So they stay in the bag, usually just as backup discs though. These are my nice stable cranks. They're not super stable, but they do go left and they will not go right at all. Really good for OB right or just any sort of shot that you want to go left. These are the Memorial cranks. I used to have one that was a lot straighter than these until I threw it into a lake. So hopefully I get that one back because these guys are really stable compared to the one that I used to have. If I have any chance of throwing a disc into a lake again, definitely not going to lose another one of my expensive discs. I do carry a lot of prototypes or first runs or just sentimental discs. So got to have just a production run crank. This thing is actually a pretty stable crank because it's in the Z plastic. I feel a big difference between the Z and the ESP cranks. So I will use this one if I need to get left a good amount. It doesn't get thrown too often unless there's a chance of losing a normal crank. If I feel like I don't want to throw a crank for some hole, which God forbid I wouldn't want to do that, got this Surge. The Surge is a little bit more stable than the crank. It's kind of redundant with my more stable cranks, but sometimes you just want to throw a different disc, so this is the one I'll pull out for that, and it's actually been doing me justice lately. If I need a big roller shot, big sky anhyzer shot, or just something that doesn't fly like a distance driver should, this first run crank is beat to crap. It is really easy to roll. It's really easy just to get going right. If there's a tailwind, you could even hyzer flip it still and it'll just go forever. It's nuts. My form isn't that great, so it's hard to keep it in the air for me, honestly. This nuke right here is actually a first run nuke. I just got it. The stamp is all wiped off, so you guys won't be able to see it. There's just that one portion left on it. But it's slowly becoming my farthest distance driver. I've only played 2 rounds with it, but as of now, it's just, I don't know, it's going farther than my cranks. I just need to learn to control it. This one's a little bit beat in, so I'm thinking about buying a newer one to see if it actually is comparable to my cranks distance-wise and see how I do like it, although I don't want to have too many different molds in my bag. Speaking of too many different molds in my bag, these guys are probably going to be leaving my bag real soon. I do keep them in there for now. They are Thrashers. This one's from the PGA Amateur World Championship, and then this one's just a first-run Thrasher. They go really straight. They do turn over a little bit max power. They're just kind of redundant with my first-run cranks and with my heats. So, there's not very much time that I'm throwing these. That's pretty much it for what's in my bag. Of course, I gotta have my Buzz Minis, first run Buzz Mini. Gotta love them, gotta throw them. If you guys haven't tried one of those, I'd definitely recommend it. And definitely gotta recommend the Zuka Cart. If anyone has not tried out the Zuka Cart yet, these things are great. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go out there and throw, and have a great day, guys.